Hey Vyberz, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, my name is Sharice and this is Amazing Vibes. And on this channel, we talk about positivity, manifestations, and all things inspirational. And today we're going to talk about a pretty serious subject, and that is the rise and the obsession of BBLs. So for those of you who don't know what a BBL is, it is a Brazilian butt lift. And that is a surgical procedure that uses a combination of liposuction and fat grafting, resulting in added volume, defined curves, and a lift to your gluteus maximus. So in other words, they take all of the extra fat out of the other parts of your body and put it into your butt. This cosmetic procedure is the most dangerous of them all. It has the highest mortality rate of all cosmetic procedures. People are literally willing to code on the table just to look good. And I get where a lot of these women are coming from. I'm an African American woman and I am not pear or hourglass shaped, so I don't have a huge round derriere. Contrary to popular belief, many people think that all black women have these shapes, even underneath, a lot of us that have extra weight on us, and it's just not true. We're human just like all other women, and we come in all different shapes and sizes. So, just growing up as African American and not having that type of shape, I was constantly clowned. They called me pancake and just all kinds of stuff, and yeah, it hurt, but at this point in the game, I'm just choosing to really put the work in instead of getting a BBL, and I fell into that temptation trap, and I wanted a BBL at one time. I really thoroughly thought about it, but I just rather put the work in physically, working out, which is another way that you can work on your behind, and, internally in terms of doing my self-love. And I feel that, we live in such a microwave society. We want everything now. Many people just don't want to put in the work, and that's just what it is. I remember a few months ago, I was on YouTube on my other channel, and I was watching a YouTuber do a video about 2 black women that died from the BBL procedure. And so there were other women in the chat stating that they were still going to get the procedure anyway. So I proceeded to come in and try to encourage them and recommend, let's all love ourselves because dying isn't worth it. And let me tell you how they mocked me and called me all kinds of annoying. And very recently, I was on YouTube again, and I was watching a video that covered a woman that went on her social media account and said that natural bodies are for poor females. And so these are the things that I'm talking about that contributes to the rise of these BBLs and the obsession. And she claimed that it was a joke, and people were on there laughing and saying, how bitter people were. And I really don't think that it was funny. As a matter of fact, it was very mean-spirited and uncalled for. And regardless if they were joking or not, it just sets a tone in people's minds that they're not good enough the way that they are, which is a lie. If you were supposed to have the body shape that you wanted, then your creator would have given it to you. And it is a slap in the face to the creator to continue to distort yourself over and over and over again, and almost willing to die just to look good. You're telling him, in a sense, that you didn't make me good enough and you made a mistake. So let's stop shaming people for having natural bodies. And as a matter of fact, let's normalize having natural bodies again. And someone in the comment section of that video stated that these women that are walking around with the BBLs, they're the ones that are the poor ones because they're walking around with all this plastic surgery but don't even own any homes or land. And it's the truth. A lot of these women that have BBLs, it's either gifted to them, like if they're an influencer and they're doing promotion for the company, so they're doing some type of transactional exchange, or they've had to finance it. They're not paying for these BBLs cash outright. As a matter of fact, the women with natural bodies, especially the ones that have made the conscious decision to keep their natural bodies, despite all of this negativity, they are the rich ones. They are rich with security, self-love, self-respect, and self-esteem. And the reason why I say over and over again is because getting a BBL is not a one-time thing. As we age and gravity takes hold, your body is going to need to be maintained. Not only is it a dangerous procedure, but very expensive. And again, that's why people are financing these surgeries, because they cannot afford them. And they also are being played like fiddles by these plastic surgeons and these companies and the media. They are purposely making people feel insecure, and then they're capitalizing off their insecurity. It's all a money game. Working out is a great solution, especially if you want to activate your glutes. Yes, it takes time, but it's totally worth it. I'll link some videos down below of some of the things that I do. You don't need an expensive gym membership. It's totally free as long as you have your cell phone, internet, and access to youtube.com or the app. I see women of other races working on their behinds, and sometimes it takes them 5 years. And for the people who are saying, oh, you can't work your way into a butt like that, let's just be honest here. A lot of us are not only looking at pictures of women who have not only had cosmetic surgery, but their photos are also edited. So you're looking at something and you're wanting something that's not even real. Not to mention how these women go into these cosmetic procedures, the ones that actually make them out alive and okay. And a lot of them still aren't satisfied because they're wanting something that's not real. The doctors can't even create it. They don't want hip dips. And when you look at women that have those real shapes and those real behinds, if you look at them facing forward, they have hip dips. I'm like, baby, you don't want your skeleton? That is what your hip dip is. It's part of your skeleton. And for the people who are saying, well, I'm doing this for myself. Well, are you really? Because you're still not fully accepting yourself how you are if you're trying to alter yourself into a version of who you're not originally supposed to be. You don't want to look back on life with a bunch of regret, like the people who were overweight in their childhood and were constantly unhappy until they grew up and really gained weight and then were wishing that they could turn back the hands of time. And for the people who are going to be honest with themselves and say, hey, I am doing this for attention, especially the attention of men, the male gaze. When I was contemplating getting the surgery and asking God about, certain curvy shapes, He put on my heart sexual gratification. And let me just give this disclaimer. What I'm about to say is probably going to offend a lot of people, but it is not my intention to do that. I am just telling you the way the world is. When you look around in the world, most wives don't even have natural curvy shapes. And most women with curvy shapes, whether they are natural or with the BBL, they are more than likely single mothers. And I hate to say that, and I hate that that's the way the world is, but that is the way that it is. And a lot of wives that got the BBL, more than likely they got married prior to having the surgery. They got married when they had their natural body. Your body shape is not going to get a man to love you, and it's definitely not going to get him to stay. He is going to play you like the toy that he sees that you are, and when he gets bored, he's going to cast you to the side and run off to the next shiny thing. So after listening to this video, if you're still deciding that you're going to get a BBL, I want you to write down in the comment section below, what are you going to do when the beauty standards change? Just like a few decades ago when breast implants were all the rage and then people started taking them out. When this trend dies out, and it will, because we're already over a decade in, so it's definitely going to change. Do you plan on keeping your BBL for life? And if so, just think about, it's going to be hard carrying that weight around when you get older. I've seen older women with natural big behinds and they're walking bent over. They cannot stand up straight because the weight is too much to carry. So let me know down in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you love this type of content, and share with someone. And just remember that you guys are so amazing, and continue to vibe high.